Do not scroll. Do not move. Something holy is unfolding right now. Can you feel that tremble beneath your spirit? That pressure in your chest? That isn't fear, it's spiritual alignment. It's the sound of heaven unlocking a vault with your name engraved on it in eternal gold. The Lord told me, urgently, to find you. Yes, you. This message was sent as a divine interception because you've been walking with questions that burned in silence. And heaven? Heaven has decided it's time for the answers. Heaven's treasury has already released your name. It wasn't a random selection. Your name is there, written in fire, circled by angels. But here's what most don't see, what was meant for you is often fought over in the unseen. I saw it. A glowing book clutched by an angelic being, pages illuminated with holy light. One of those pages. It had your name on it. But suddenly, dark shadows emerged, clawing at the edges, trying to erase it. Trying to delay what has already been marked as released. That's when I heard the Lord's voice thunder, warn them. If they ignore this moment, the inheritance will stall. You see, this is not a blessing you can afford to scroll past. This moment has been prepared long before your tears ever fell. Long before you whispered those midnight prayers you thought no one heard. This wealth, this restoration, this breakthrough, is divine. It's supernatural. It's not a lottery win. It's not wishful thinking. This is covenant wealth. Transferred not just for you, but through you. Because what heaven is about to release will bless not only your hands but generations beyond your name. But here's the holy tension, for every open vault in heaven, there is resistance on earth. Why do you think it's been so hard lately? Why has everything felt like a push uphill? Why have the attacks gotten more precise? The betrayals more personal? The doubts more invasive? Because your vault is dangerously close to opening. Heaven doesn't operate on emotion, it responds to faith. That's why right now, a signal is required. Say it aloud or write it where heaven can witness, I receive heaven's wealth and approval. Yes, say it. Because when you speak it, the divine transaction begins. Right now, angels are watching. They've prepared the gates. They're waiting on your yes. The ledger of your obedience, your quiet generosity, your sacrificial faith, it's been weighed. And God is saying, the books are balanced. Let the release begin. There's a reason you're reading this message right now. You didn't stumble into this post by chance. You were summoned. You've been asking, when will my time come? God is answering, now. The appointed time is now. But don't miss the weight of what I'm about to say next, delay is dangerous. The Lord showed me this clearly, some will feel this urgency and still do nothing. And the miracle, though real, will slip past because no action was taken. But not you. You're here because your name is still glowing in the book. You're still chosen. You're still on heaven's radar. Every night you cried was not wasted, it was an investment. Every time you gave even when you lacked, you were planting into your own spiritual bank account. And today, your account is full. Not just with finances, but with restoration, healing, honor, and legacy. But listen, this is only part one of the release. What's coming in the next part will explain the three things God is releasing, the identity of the spiritual block that's been hindering your vault, and what you must do within the next 48 hours to step into what's already been approved. Say it again before you go to the next part, I receive heaven's wealth and approval. I will not delay. Now, are you ready to see what's really behind the vault? Heaven has opened the vault, but now comes the revelation of the keys. Listen carefully. You've made it this far because your spirit knows something sacred is unfolding. But now, God is about to show you the three specific keys required to walk fully into the wealth, peace, and legacy that's already been spiritually approved in your name. These are not ordinary actions. They are supernatural alignments that unlock extraordinary outcomes. The Lord told me clearly, Tell them, their vault has been open in the spirit, but their steps must align in the natural. This is your moment to walk in total alignment with the last instruction heaven gave you. Yes, the last one. You may be praying for a fresh word, but God is still waiting on your obedience to the last word. What did He whisper in your spirit in the quiet? What burden wouldn't leave your heart? What door did He tell you not to open again, and yet you've been tempted to revisit? This is the time to align. Because the vault isn't accessed by emotion, it's accessed by movement. The spiritual realm responds to obedience like a key turning in a divine lock. And when that key turns, the flow begins. Ask yourself honestly, am I still holding on to people He told me to release? Am I still doubting what He already confirmed? Am I still moving based on fear instead of faith? Heaven cannot fund a mission that contradicts divine instruction. Let go. Move forward. The vault is for the you on the other side of obedience. The spirit of delay is cunning. It doesn't always come as obvious resistance. Sometimes it comes as procrastination. Or excuses. Or hesitation masked as waiting for confirmation. But heaven says, you don't need another sign. This is it. Delay has already eaten enough of your harvest. Don't let it steal your release. God showed me something terrifying, a vision of believers standing in front of their open vault, but frozen by fear. The wealth, peace, restoration all within reach, but they never extended their hand. Why? Because the enemy whispered, you're not ready. It's too late. You've made too many mistakes. Lies. Every time you speak against your future, you give delay permission to stay. But when you declare, you break the legal right of delay over your destiny. Say it now with fire in your spirit, I reject the spirit of delay. I declare I am ready for heaven's release. This key is the one that hell fears most. Kingdom faith is different than wishful thinking. It's the kind of faith that moves even when the facts say you should sit down. It's the kind of faith that says, if God said it, I'm walking in it, bank account or not. If heaven approved it, I don't need permission from earth. If my vault is open, then I will live like the blessed. This isn't arrogance, it's alignment. This isn't pretending, it's prophesying. When the woman with the issue of blood pressed through the crowd, she didn't ask permission. She didn't wait for perfect timing. She just moved in faith. That's what you must do now. Even if you're limping. Even if you feel unqualified. Even if it doesn't make sense. Move. Speak. Align. Because God doesn't need your perfection. He needs your yes. In the spirit, I saw it again, angels standing over a file with your name, glowing, pulsing. The label, approved for release. But demonic forces were trying to intercept the flow. One demon hissed, if we can't stop the blessing, at least delay it. And I heard the Lord respond like thunder, touch not what is mine. The seal of heaven is on this one. You are sealed. You are protected. But you must move. Mark this next part. It's critical. The Holy Spirit will nudge you in the next 48 hours. It might come as a phone call you didn't expect. A divine idea that drops in your spirit. A prophetic dream or number that repeats. Don't ignore it. It's the instruction tied to your release. When you respond in obedience, heaven will respond with overflow. I am in alignment. I reject delay. I walk in kingdom faith. My vault is open, and I will not miss what's mine. Your voice shakes the atmosphere. Your yes activates angels. Your obedience triggers release. The moment has come. Heaven is not just whispering, it is roaring. The vault is open. The blessing has been authorized. And now, the enemy who tried to stop it is being named and exposed. As I was in prayer, I saw a vault. Massive, ancient, glowing. Its hinges creaked as it opened, releasing a blinding golden light. Inside, scrolls with names. Divine assignments. Inheritances long delayed. Keys with engravings only angels could read. And then I saw it. Your name, glowing. But just as I reached toward it, a dark hand reached too. Cloaked in disguise. Wearing a mask of familiarity. And I heard God thunder, expose them. The enemy didn't come wearing red horns and fire. He came through a person who discouraged your calling. Through fear that felt like your own voice. Through betrayal that almost convinced you to quit. Through delay that made you question your value. Heaven says, the delay wasn't divine, it was demonic. But hear me, beloved, their assignment just failed. The one who gossiped about you behind closed doors. The one who laughed at your dreams when you were vulnerable. The one who spoke against your name in secret meetings. Their names have been recorded in the courts of heaven. Not for vengeance, but for justice. God is not just a loving Father, He is also a judge. And the judge has made his ruling, return what was stolen. With interest. Every dollar stolen. Every opportunity blocked. Every connection sabotaged. Every moment of peace disturbed. Heaven's scales have tipped in your favor. The enemy wanted you confused, tired, and distracted during the exact moment of your transfer. But you showed up anyway. And now your reward will not be delayed 1 second longer. You won't recognize them all physically. But in the spirit, they had names like doubt, delay, false comfort, manipulation, counterfeit blessing. These spirits were assigned to follow you. Whisper to you. Keep you stuck. But God said, this is the hour of exposure. They have been unmasked, and their access is cut off. Your vault is not just symbolic, it is spiritual reality. God said. Tell them the wealth I'm releasing is not just financial. It is generational. It is mental peace. It is clarity. It is strength. It is supernatural strategy. It is property. It is legacy. It is healing in areas they forgot were broken. You were never meant to beg for what's already yours. Your inheritance was written before you took your first breath. And the enemy knew it. That's why the warfare increased this year. That's why the friendships fell apart. That's why the fatigue nearly broke you. Because the vault was getting ready to swing open, and hell got nervous. But now it's too late for them. You're standing in the doorway of divine transfer. You've been chosen, but heaven waits for your response. This is the time to, I receive my transfer. What was stolen will be returned sevenfold. Forgive the person who betrayed you, it unchains the vault. God won't pour into a version of you that's hiding. This is your vault moment. Speak it. Act like it. Walk in it. Pause. Let heaven witness your agreement. Speak these words out loud, I renounce delay. I break agreement with every lie. I receive full access to my divine vault. The enemy is exposed. And I move forward unstoppable. You've been approved. You've been vindicated. Now it's time to be equipped. The vault is no longer sealed. The enemy has been named. And now, heaven releases the strategy. Because divine wealth doesn't fall out of the sky. It's unlocked through obedience. This is the chapter where destiny becomes practical. Supernatural becomes strategic. And your name becomes a name of authority in places that once rejected you. Let me show you how. God's divine downloads only flow into willing vessels. And the Lord is saying, you've asked me to bless what you built. But I want to build something greater, through you. There are 3 things He's asking of you now. Not for performance. But for positioning. Release the counterfeit dreams, the ones built from comparison, fear, or pressure. You don't need to chase their blueprint. You were made for your own. Return to your first calling, that thing you loved before money, status, or applause distracted you. Heaven is restoring the purity of your first yes. Reclaim your spiritual authority, speak again. Command again. Pray bold prayers again. You've been walking like a servant, but you were born a co-heir. I saw a vision. A mighty angel stood with one foot in the sea and one on the land. In his hand was a scroll. He opened it, and flames danced on the letters. Your name was at the top. Below it, instructions. A roadmap. Steps to take in this divine transfer. Here's what I read: let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Psalm 107 verse 2, you must speak what God has already stamped, yes, in the Spirit. Every morning, declare, heaven has approved my inheritance. I walk in wealth, wisdom, and open doors. I call forth what belongs to me. Your voice is your access key. Write the vision and make it plain. Habakkuk 2 verse 2, God is breathing on your writing, your journaling, your vision casting. But this time, you must write it not from survival, but from identity. Don't just write bills and requests, write legacy. Write what the wealth is for: the healing center, the orphanage, the book, the community project, the business with kingdom purpose. Remember Naaman? He had to dip in the river 7 times. It made no sense, but it produced a miracle. Your instruction might seem strange. It might be to give when you're lacking. To forgive when they don't deserve it. To walk away from something steady to pursue something divinely unfamiliar. But when God sends the instruction, your breakthrough will ride on your response. God sends people, messages, and moments as gates. Honor the gate. It might be this prophetic word. It might be a spiritual mentor. It might be a dream you had that keeps repeating. Don't treat holy moments casually. That's how people miss their transfer. The blessings coming aren't soft. They come with land. They come with weight. They come with responsibility. This is wealth for rulers, not just receivers. God is not just making you rich, He's making you strategic. Making you a gatekeeper. Making you a blueprint for others to follow. You must declare again. Say out loud, this is your prophetic coronation moment. Not because you begged for it. Not because you manipulated your way into it. But because heaven chose you, and you didn't give up when hell tried to make you disappear. You endured. And now, the vaults are open. I saw it clearly. A radiant angel, wings outstretched, stood before a celestial vault that hadn't been opened in generations. He held a golden scroll. Your name was on it. Sealed by the blood of the Lamb. Stamped with the words. As soon as those words were read aloud, lightning cracked across heaven's sky. Trumpets sounded in the spirit realm. The vaults didn't creak. They exploded open. And what spilled out wasn't just money, it was restoration of identity, retrieval of lost time, supernatural favor, holy compensation, generational justice. You thought you were just fighting for provision. But you were fighting for a kingdom release that rewrites history. The Spirit of God now releases a final decree into your atmosphere: you have been faithful in the dark. You have been loyal when it cost you everything. You have sown when you had little. You have prayed when no one was listening. You have endured when others quit. And now, I declare, you are no longer in delay. You are no longer in waiting. You are in release. This is a sacred window. And though heaven has approved you, earth must still respond. The enemy will send one last whisper. This isn't for you. Nothing ever changes. You'll just be disappointed again. But you must answer back with the sound of faith. Lift your voice and say, the vault is open. I receive. The delay is over. I believe. My inheritance is mine. I decree. Heaven has said yes, and so do I. If you treat this message like just another inspirational word, you'll miss the actual spiritual transaction taking place right now. The vault does not stay open forever. Heaven's movement requires earth's agreement. You remember the vision, the house by the sea. That wasn't just a nice image. It was a prophetic portrait. The house represents peace, dominion, and fulfilled promise. The waves beside it symbolize the overwhelming love and might of God. And the door? It had your name engraved in the wood, from the foundation of the world. When God formed you in the womb, He also formed your destined dwelling. Your future is not in the hands of the market, the economy, or people's opinions. Your future is in the vault of divine authority. And it's been released. This is the final act of this prophetic release. Declare, I seal this word. I partner with heaven. I walk in wisdom, wealth, and divine protection. I declare that no demon, delay, or doubt can stop what God has started. Now lift your hands, if you can. Wherever you are. Close your eyes. And say, Abba, I receive my full inheritance. I will use it for your glory. I will not be afraid of success. I will not shrink back from favor. Use me as a vessel of kingdom wealth and spiritual transformation. I walk boldly into everything you wrote for me. In Jesus' name, I decree it is done. The vault is open. The angels are dispatched. The inheritance is on the move. Now it's up to you to walk like someone heaven just promoted. Because you have been. Because it is real. Because this was never just a message. It was a divine transaction. You've entered your season of supernatural wealth and irrevocable favor. Welcome to your appointed release.